So here we go on a look back at the season of 1994-1995. 140 odd goals to look at. Starting off with this one from Carl Lightburn for Walsall after just 7 minutes, beating Jim Stannard. We were to get the goal back again from Kevin Moore with just 8 minutes to go, but before that we were able to see a player sent off for the first opening game of the season. This Stuart Watkins for that challenge on Michael Myson. Stuart Watkins was to plead innocence, but he was to get the red card to be the first player sent off on the opening day of our season on the 13th of August. Our goal, the equaliser, had come from Kevin Moore. Some challenges with Pepin, but eventually the ball was to be put down to Johnny Marshall down that right-hand side, back again to Marshall to pick up and provide a cross for Kevin Moore to head home. So a good start for the boys, home point against the side that was to go up to the next division at the end of the season. 3 days later sees us at Kenilworth Road. Again the same result, a 1-1, but what about this goal from Scott Oates? Giving Jim Stannard no chance at all. We thought we were out of it, but that was that man Kevin Moore to come up again 4 minutes from time to provide us with a 1-1 draw. Robbie Herrera taking the corner. Much to the delight of the Fulham players there, Kevin Moore getting that equaliser with just 4 minutes to go. Back to league action the following Saturday. We're at Scunthorpe, but it was a home side, Ian Jurieff, to score after just 8 minutes. But Alan Cook was to see us on the way to victory. The first of 2 goals, this one coming after 13 minutes. A glorious free kick, giving the keeper no chance at all. So back on equal terms after just 13 minutes of the game. The winner was also to come from Alan, 7 minutes before the end of the game. And he does so well to create the goal, as you can see, by taking the ball away from the defender. Then provided the cross down the right-hand side, which Simon Morgan picks up, and there's Alan to rocket the ball in the top of the net. Alan Cook's second goal of the game, providing us with 3 points, the first away victory of the season, and also the first victory of the season. It's back to Craven Cottage 3 days later, and we get off to a fine start in the second leg of the Coca-Cola Cup game against Luton. Robbie Howarth scoring there early on in the game after just 15 minutes. But before the equaliser was to come, Terry Hughes was to be sent off, to be the second player in succession on the opponent's side to be sent off at Craven Cottage in the 73rd minute. Mr Pearce there, standing for no nonsense. The equaliser was to follow quickly after that sending off from Dwight Marshall, thus providing us with a penalty shootout. Exciting. All the events were to unveil in the next 5 or so minutes. Alan Cook having that first one saved by keeper Jürgen Sommer. But Jim Stannard proved he's successful at saving penalties as well. One saved from Paul Telfer. Julian House proved he can score penalties when it's one in front. Scott Oates was also to see his penalty saved by Jim Stannard. So far 2 saves from the big man in goal. Gal Brazil giving us a 2-goal lead so far in the penalties. First one to go in there for Luton Town. Duncan Jupp giving us a 3-1 lead. Kerry Dixon making it 3-2. It's up to Kevin Moore. Up he steps. anguish upon his face to see the ball hit the post. 3-3. Now it's down to sudden death. And Thomas was to make it 4-3. Now could Jim Stannard save the all-important penalty from Dwight Marshall? Yes, he could. Look at delight on Jim's face. The delight of the Hammersmith end and the rest of the Fulham team saw us go through into the next round of the Coca-Cola Cup. Winning ways were to continue. A couple of days later, we beat Wigan by 2-0. Start off with this goal from skipper Simon Morgan, the first of the season for him after just 10 minutes. Alan Cook to make it 3 for the season with that delightful chip. 2-0, 3 goals so far for Alan Cook. It's back to league action 3 days later. A rough and tough game at Bellevue Doncaster. No goals, but a good defensive display was to see us get that 0-0 draw. Glenn Thomas clearing off the line there. Second half, it's still the same sort of pattern with Jim Stannard pulling off this save. Got a good point for the boys up at Bellevue. We're on our travels as we start September. We're down in the West Country taking on Torquay. And it's that man Kevin Moore scoring again. But things weren't to go all our own way. Kevin Moore scoring the opening goal for us. It was the home side were to score twice in 3 minutes. First one coming from Scott Stamps. Then 3 minutes later, McCoy made it 2-1 for Torquay. Goes back to Craven Cottage a week later, taking on John Beck's Preston. But this was to see another player sent off against Fulham. This time it was Mark Sowell being sent off for a second bookable offence. But Preston were to steal the game with this goal from Neil Treble. It was 2 minutes before the end. Hoping for better things 3 days later. Again, we're at home, this time taking on Scarborough. But Scarborough were to have a good opening start there from Gary Swan. Note the dance as Scarborough celebrate. But we were to hit back straight from the kick-off, this time from a delightful goal from Julian Howes. Exquisite goal, and Julian very proud of that particular goal. Scarborough to win the game with this unusual goal. Stannard clearing it. Diora decides to put the ball straight past Jim Stannard to make it 2-1. And that would be the final score. So with 2 defeats in a row, we're looking back to get back onto winning ways, but things didn't go to plan. Gael Brazil scoring our consolation goal for Walsall, hitting 5. First one there from Chris Marsh. Carl Lightburn scores the second goal of the game. His first of 3 he was to get in the match. Chris Marsh bagging this one. Second of 2 goals he was to score. second of 2 goals there from Carl Lightburn, who's to bag his hat-trick in the 52nd minute. That's our 3rd defeat in succession, but when he ways to come back against Stoke City, a good header from that man, Kevin Moore, to put us 1-0 up against Stoke City in the Coca-Cola Cup. Was it or was it not a penalty? The referee decided it was. Uggleson putting the ball in the back of the net after just 69 minutes. To the delight of the Stoke City fans, they made it 2-1 with Nigel Gleghorn scoring a minute later. But we were to hit back with 2 goals. Kevin Moore being that unlucky there, but the referee decided it was a penalty. Gary Brazil taking the first one, keeper saving it. But the referee decided it has to be retaken. Alan Cook was to see the same fate, the keeper saving his spot kick, but Robbie Howarth hammering the rebound. And look at the delight on Robbie's face. The winner come in this fashion. Herrera puts the ball in, the Morgan flicks on, top of the net. Mark Blake scoring the first goal for Fulham in his career. League action again, and a murky old day in September. And it's Hereford who come to take us on. Steve White scoring the first of the goals. Fulham to get an equaliser through Gary Brazil. Would come on a sub, right-footed, corner of the net. But Fulham getting a well-earned point. It's back to Stoke City for that second leg. And the only goal of the game is called from Paul Pescalado after just 3 minutes of play. The game is to go into extra time, but we were to go out to the Coca-Cola Cup. League action in October sees us with a good point against Barnet. Barnet still yet to score against Fulham Football Club. But a week later sees us up Rochdale. Rochdale getting off to a good start there through Steve Whitehall. But 2 late goals coming from Gary Brazil and the first of a career of goals from Terry Hurlock. There's Gary Brazil's goal after just 65 minutes, 1-1. Then with 11 minutes to go, it was that man Hurlock hitting a screamer. Marvellous action there from T. Hurlock. And look at the light on the Fulham players' faces. So, 2-1, good victory up at Lancashire. It's back down to the cottage, and you had to be quick to get the first of this one against Exeter after just 14 seconds. Mark Stallard, who'd signed on a loan period from Derby County, get the first of 3 goals he was to score that afternoon. Mark's to get his second after just 9 minutes play. He bagged his hat-trick in the second half in the 53rd minute. And skipper Simon Morgan rounded it all off in the 74th minute as Fulham put 4 past Exeter City. We enter the All-to-Winstring Shield at the first round stage, taking on Leyton Orient, but the result has been somewhat surprising. Leyton Orient beating us by 5 goals to 2. First one coming there from Darren Purse. Mark Dempsey making it 2 for the O's. Quickly followed up with 3 and 4. Colin West scoring for the penalty. You judge for yourself if you think it was a pen. West was to score his second of the 3 goals of the game. Michael Myson scoring the first of the 2 goals for us on the day, which was in fact to take us through into the next round. Colin West rounding off his hat-trick of the evening, making it 5-1, but Gary Brazil was to have the last word, scoring our second of the evening. And that second goal was to be also important, really to take us through into the next round. Because in that tournament, goals you score mattered most. Back to league action, up at Chesterfield. 1-1 draw. Home side to score through Darren Roberts. But it was that man, Kevin Moore, was to get our equaliser. Simon Morgan hitting a screamer there, which the keeper did so well to save. There's Kevin Moore running in with just seconds to go of the game. A 1-1 draw against a side that was also to go up out of the Division 3. A week later at the Cottage were to see the league leaders, Carlisle, who were to run away with the league. It really was an impressive performance on the day. David Reeves scoring after just 8 minutes there. Former Evertonian Derek Mountfield was to make it 2. Former Fulham favourite Jimmy Conway's son was to make it 3 in the 60th minute. But with just 8 minutes to go, skipper Simon Morgan popped up with a consolation goal. A good header there from the skipper. We go on our travels to Northampton and pick up this delightful goal from Mickey Adams. One of the goals that made Mickey leading goal scorer for the season. 3 days later, it's the Alter Windscreen Shield again. Robert Howarth to get us off to a good start there against Colchester. After just 3 minutes play. The Colchester hit back. Paul Abrahams scoring in the 63rd minute. Colchester were to score the second through Mark Kinsella, 65 minutes. And it looked like we were to go out of the Shield at the early stages. But it was that man Mickey Adams for this free kick. 2-2. And with just 2 minutes left to play, a goal from Nick Cusack was to provide the winner. So Fulham went through into the next round of the Alter Windscreen Shield thanks to a 3-2 victory over Colchester. It's another cup, the FA Cup, and who to forget the scenes at Ashford. The home side getting off to a good start through Davy Arthur. Nicky Dent making it 2. But it was that man, Mickey Adams, scoring the first of 2 penalties to score. And here's the second one. So, we may have left it late, but we go through. Much to the delight there of manager Ian Branford. Back to league action at the Cottage. We take on Lincoln. 1-1 for Mickey Adams again. Scoring from the free kick. Mickey at this point getting a regular on the score sheet. Good start for the boys after just 10 minutes. But all was not to go too well for Mickey. A penalty saved by the Lincoln keeper. From one keeper to another keeper as our keeper. And who'd forget that incident when Jim Stannard was sensationally sent off. You judge for yourself whether Jim touched him or not. But from the penalty, saw Lee Harrison come on to take over from Jim Stannard. Gary Panister hit the equaliser. So a 1-1 draw at the Cottage, and the talking point, of course, was Jim Stannard being sensationally sent off. 3 days later, we're still at the Cottage, and it's that replay, that first round of the FA Cup against Ashford. And what a dream start from skipper Simon Morgan. Nine minutes to play, 1-0. "11 minutes later, prolific goal scorer Mickey Adams was to make it 2. From the narrowest angles, Mickey gives us that 2-goal cushion. But the non-league side were not going to be laying down. A hit back through Mark Stanton in the 39th minute. Nicky Dent was to make it 2-2 in the 55th minute. The excitement really bubbling at Craven Cottage. But the FA Cup is all about. With just 3 minutes to go, Mickey Adams has made it 3-2. Surely we can hang on. But Ashford had something else lined up for us. Again, it was Mark Stanton. So the game goes into extra time. It was that man Mark Blake popping up to make it 4-3. Look at the left of honour he does. Catch me if you can, says Mark. 4-3. Alan Cork rounded it all off to make it 5-3. He does well to out-jump the opponent again, but he waits for the ball to come back. Hit that ball into the top of the net. 5-3, great game, great night for everyone to remember. That FA Cup first round against Ashford. For those goals against Ashford, it was off to Gig Lane, but they ended at 0-0, so it's back to cup action. In the Alta Windscreen Shield. We'd already been to Orient and lost 5-2. This time, it's going to defeat by 1-0. Again, Colin West would be the goal scorer. FA Cup, second round against Gillingham. Chris Pike, the former Fulham favourite there, to get the home side off to a good start after just 22 minutes. But we were to get back into the game through this equaliser. Long looping centre from Duncan Jupp, headed back, and there was Rory Hamill to score his first for Fulham. The game was now instant as it went to the end. Alan Cook was to receive his marching orders. But that off-the-ball incident there, referee decided Alan leave the field. Well, Fulham had to play out the second round of the FA Cup with just 10 men. Back to the cottage for league action against Scunthorpe. And into 1-0 with this goal from Simon Morgan. So Fulham doing the double over Scunthorpe, having beaten them 2-1 early on in the season. Back to FA Cup action. And Gillingham which will knock us out. First of the goals coming from there, from Chris Pike. Rory Hamill was to give us a gleam of something to come, hitting another screamer. Watch it again. Robert Burnell was to score the winner in extra time. Trying to forget that disappointment. It's back to league action. We're up in Lancashire. It's the home side to take an early lead through Mark Leonard. But Johnny Marshall was to get us the equaliser we deserved on the day with just 10 minutes to go. 1-1. Over Christmas, it was to see us take on Gillingham. And this time, Gillingham put 4 past us. It was that man, Ronnie Renault, going early on. They were to make it 2 through Gary Micklewhite. Three and 4 were to come through Adrian Foster. Sandwiched in between that was that one from Simon Morgan. But after that defeat, 24 hours later, we're hoping to get back into winning ways. We got off to a great start through Rory Hamill. But Colchester will have the last laugh on both accounts. Mark Kinsella is getting the equaliser after 29 minutes. Despite some resolute defending there, Kinsella puts the ball in the back of the net. We'll be to see another player sent off against us. This time the fate will go to a Colchester United player. But the winner for the game was to come in really, really strange circumstances. A moment pretty Mark Blake would want to forget. Just a minute to go. An own goal there from Mark Blake. It's Fulham losing that game by 2-1. We ended 94 on a high, going to Hartlepool and beating them by 2-1. Even though Nicky Southall scoring from the penalty spot after just 20 minutes after Duncan Jupp, and that ended a Hartlepool player. But just before half time, we were to hit back with an equaliser from Nick Cusack. The winner was to come from Gary Brazil in the 64th minute of play. Gary likes scoring up to Hartlepool, and he'll remember this one for a long time. So we ended 94 on a high with a 2-1 victory over Hartlepool. And whether it was a shot or a cross doesn't really matter, because the ball ends up in the back of the net. Gary Brazil ended 94 on a high. We started 95 on a high as well. After just 7 seconds, Rory Hamill getting off to a great start against Mansfield. Quickest goal seen at Craven Cottage all season. But the opposition weren't to be outdone. Ian Barraclough scoring after just 4 minutes play. Some parts of the pitch were to have frost still on them as early as the game started, but we were to revel in those conditions. Nick Cusack making it 2-1 for us just after half time. But Mansfield made a game of it, hitting quickly back through Stuart Hadley. Two late goals in the last 10 minutes from Mark Blake and Martin Thomas, but still a 4-2 victory for us. Great start to 1995. To beat the side, of course, that ended up in the top 6 by 4-2. 6 days later, another home game at Craven Cottage takes on Chesterfield. It's a away side. David Moss was to score after just 39 minutes play. Brazil running in the equaliser, just 67 minutes. 1-1. Still unbeaten in 1995 after just 2 games. We were to make it 3 with a 0-0 draw against Darlington, and Brazil going ever so close there with that fine effort. And Jim Stannard proving also he can pull off a save or two as well. So an entertaining game up at Darlington. We were to have a good chance here by Simon Morgan, just denied, as Fulham ended up getting a well-earned point up at Darlington. We stay in the north against league leaders Carlisle. It ended 1-1. Rod Thomas getting the home side off to a early start after just 11 minutes play. But in patches we outplayed the league leaders to the stunned silence of the home support. But we ended up getting the point we deserved with this strange own goal from Dean Watling. But look where the goalkeeper is. Wouldn't you love to know what the two of them said to each other then? It's back to the Cottage for a 1-0 victory over Bury. That goal coming from Martin Thomas. In a game that was to see Nick Dawes sent off for Bury, but that one and only goal there from Martin Thomas being the winner for us and to make 3 points. In a game that's to have a sensational twist in the tale 10 days later against Northampton. It ended 4-4 with Northampton scoring after just 29 minutes to take an early lead through Martin Aldridge. But some 7 minutes later it was our skipper Simon Morgan scoring an equaliser to get us back into the game. Good approach work here from John Marshall. Morgan was to be involved in the second goal for us of the day. Many pundits thought he scored it, but John Marshall gets that final touch. So that deft touch there from Likeable John sees Fulham into a 2-1 lead. But Northampton weren't to be sitting down and dying. In fact, it was Ian Brown getting them back into the game to make it 2-2. Some 2 minutes later, Neil Grayson was to make it 3-2. Things were getting rather worrying. Then with just 8 minutes left, Martin Aldridge got the second of his goals he was to score on the day, made it 4-2. Many of the Fulham faithful at this point were now leaving Craven Cottage. But oh, what a mistake they made, because we came back with a vengeance thanks to this penalty from Mickey Adams after Martin Thomas had been brought down. So 4-3 with just 5 minutes left. But it was down to Rory Hamill with just 3 minutes to go to make it 4-4. And just look how he celebrated after that ball hit the back of the net. Four days later, another home game, and the goals kept on coming. And again, it was that man, Mickey Adams. Well on the way to becoming the top goal scorer for the season. Mickey's number 2 for the game. And look at his delight. We made it 3 through Rory Hamill. The only consolation for the side from the northeast was this Bernie Slaven goal. So 3-1. After the 4-4, the goals are beginning to happen for us. A week later, and still the goals are coming. This time we put another 4 past Barnet. This is one, first of all, from Nick Cusack. Johnny Marshall was to make it 2 in the 14th minute. And at a stroke of half time, skipper Simon Morgan made it 3. And to round things off, Rory Hamill had the free rein of Craven Cottage to make it 4. We're into March, going down to Hereford, and Duncan Jupp scoring this one. But the home side were hit back with a goal from Gary Peake with just 6 minutes left. That point earned at Edgar Street was just to put us on the fringe of the playoff places. We had a tough game against Preston to follow. A victory here will put us in good line for that top 6. But Mike Conroy got the home side off to a good start after just 22 minutes. But Duncan Jupp, who had scored the previous week, this time hit a screamer. Anything Mickey Adams can do, Duncan can also do. As proved there at Deepdale. So the home side were to come back through Paul Rayner. Just 4 minutes into the second half. Then a minute later, it was David Beckham, who was on loan from Manchester United, was to make it 3-1. But we had an exciting last 10 minutes or so, because Mark Blake was to pop up and take a penalty. And watch the defender pull John Marshall's shirt. Mark Blake were here to step up in the 80th minute to score and provide us with an exciting 10 minutes or so at Deepdale. But Gary Peters' side were just to hang on and get the 3 points and put them in to the playoff position. It's back to the cottage, and it's Doncaster to provide a victory with 2 goals. That one coming from Graham Jones as early as the 31st minute. Sean Parrish was to make it 2. But we're to bounce back a week later after that defeat against Doncaster with a victory over Torquay. It's Ian Hathaway scoring after just 10 minutes to give Torquay a dream start. But it was leading goal scorer Mickey Adams that was to pop up with just 17 minutes to go to hit a screamer from the free kick. Another goal for the leading goal scorer of the season. Nick Cusack was to round the victory off with this one. What a glorious goal there from Fulham's number 9. In a game that was to see Martin Thomas sent off, Fulham moved on to Scarborough a week later. Against bottom of the table, Scarborough, it was the home side that was to take a lead through Jason White in the second half. But Mickey Adams was to get us back into the game, again from the free kick. 1-1 after 61 minutes. The bottom of the table Scarborough were out for victory on that afternoon. David Diora make it 2. And Robbie Scott rounded it all off with this one. It's back to the cottage a week later, and probably a moment Lee Harrison will want to forget. He waited a long time for his league debut, which lasted just 30 minutes. Then this happened. Poor Lee, who's protesting his innocence, is sensationally sent off after making his league debut. John Gregory was to come on to take Lee's place as Jim Stannard, the number 1 keeper, was injured for the game. The winning goal was to come from Mark Blake there. And again, Mark quick to celebrate. Three days later, it was off to Lincoln, in a game that was postponed due to the rain. But Fulham were to lose the rearranged fixture by 2-0. Matt Carbon scoring after just 39 minutes play. David Hill was to make it 2 in the 50th minute. Lee Harrison given no chance there. We're still on our travels. It's Easter Saturday and we're down at Layer Road. And this time, Colchester hit 5 past us. But first of all, Simon Morgan gets us off to a great start with this opening goal. After just 4 minutes play, the skipper puts us one in front. But then the floodgates open. Micah Cheetham in the 5th minute getting the U's back into the game. Now, was it offside or not? Someone definitely was. And their second goal from Tony English has got an element of offside about it as well. Gus Caesar was to make it 3 after just 16 minutes. It was quickly to become 4 when Chris Fry put this one in on the 33rd minute. Fry was going to go on and score his second of the game and a 5th for Colchester in the 56th minute. And a game that's to see Duncan Jupp sent off, but Fulham bounced back with Michael Meissen in the 77th minute to give us our second of the game. 2 days later, it's back to the cottage. We to beat Gillingham by 1-0. But first of all, John Marshall was being carried off, suffered a double fracture to his leg. The winner of the game was to come from Simon Morgan. Just 7 minutes to go before the end of the match. Good approach work on the right-hand side. And there's the skipper popping up to head the ball past the Gills keeper. That's the final rundown now. Just 3 fixtures left. We're up at Mansfield. And it's the home side getting off to the start after 23 minutes. Mark Peters there scoring. But just as Simon Morgan has scored the previous game against Gillingham, it was to get the equaliser here. Complete open space at Field Mill. And didn't he make it look easy? Skipper Simon Morgan's final goal of 1994-1995 season. We go on our travels again. We're down in the West Country. That was Gary Brazil's goal, just to get the 3 points after just 67 minutes. In a game in which Tony Finnegan was sent off early on, and we really could have scored again with this chance. Nick Cusack going ever so close there. We ended the season at the cottage and we handed out a 5-goal thrashing to Rochdale, and Nick Cusack picking up a hat-trick. The first one of the goals he was to score after just 6 minutes play. Nick was to make it 2 5 minutes later. Martin Thomas was to make it number 3 for Fulham on the afternoon, and the game was just 16 minutes old. Good approach work on the left-hand side. Rob Herrera throws it in. Gary Brazil picks out Martin Thomas, and a header off of the net. Gary Brazil made that one for Martin Thomas, who was to score goal number 4 for Fulham on the afternoon. This time, It was thanks to Danny Bolt creating the ball on the left-hand side. Good crossing. There's Gary Brazil. Just to tap the ball past the keeper. Danny Bolt making his home league debut in the afternoon. And the final goal of the season came from Nick Cusack, rounding off his hat-trick. Again, approach work from Brazil, cut inside. And there was Cusack, rounded it all off, making it 5. 8 for the season for Nick, 11 for Simon Morgan, leading goal scorer being Mickey Adams with 12. Fulham finishing 8th in the NC Division 3. Let's hope for better things next season.